3 weeks ago. The vision came about a month and a half ago, and 3 weeks ago, a friend of mine, Anne, who is somewhere in this room, we sat down together and I said, yo, so I want to plan a caravan across the country to unite the people, to stand up in the face of adversity and continue the narrative of enough is enough and we're not going to lay idle any longer. And every one of my friends was like, girl, you are crazy. That is way too much work. You've never organized anything before. No, it's not going to happen. And Em was like, I'll do it with you. And so we did. We spent 10, 11, 12 hours a day building a website, making phone calls, reaching out to local organizers, connecting with Uncle Joe, who brought the tribe, Namo and Trevor, who brought the tribe together. And the reason I tell this story, the reason why we are doing this caravan, is there anyone in here, just be honest, doesn't matter, it doesn't really understand what this caravan situation is? We keep mentioning you're up to us at all? There's probably a few, right? Okay, cool, so I'll break it down. Up to us. I've never been political before. About 5.5 months ago, I jumped on the Bernie Sanders campaign. Because thank God for Bernie Sanders. And I got real political, and the reason I did that was because I always lived from the place of I'm a grassroots activist. No matter what I do on the ground, the government is never gonna fucking pay attention to me, so why the fuck would I pay attention to the government? And I was so wrong, you guys. I was so wrong. And I learned that in February of this year when I started getting political. Because you can get a long ways in a grassroots effort, but you're eventually gonna hit a wall of governance. And when you hit that wall of governance, you're gonna wanna know that there's someone on the other side who's got your back the way you got their back from the front. And the only way that's gonna happen is if people like you and me start getting political. Because right now, the people in our country who are political the majority of them are white. And the majority of them are over 50 years old. And I respect my elders, but I'm gonna be on this planet a lot longer than they are. And our kids, our little brothers and sisters and cousins and nieces and nephews, they're gonna be on this planet way longer than we are. That's why we gotta get political. So after the California primary, when there was 2.5 million votes that were uncounted, for unknown reasons, still 1 million votes uncounted. Yeah, there's a lot of anger in this room. I'm angry too. After that happened, we came up with this idea to do this caravan across the country, to stop in local communities like Boulder, Colorado, Santa Fe, New Mexico, like Ferguson, Missouri, and talk to local activists and organizers and learn about the struggles that they're enduring in their communities. Because what you experience here in Boulder, I don't experience in Los Angeles. And what I experience in Los Angeles, you don't experience in Boulder. And what you experience, because you have color on your skin, I don't experience. And what you experience because you're Native American, I don't experience. The only way we are going to change anything, and I know we all know this, but we gotta really hear it and we gotta start living from it, is if we take, who feels fucking awesome because the energy and the medicine in this room? It is so important to have nights like this, because right now we're charging our batteries. We are fueling our souls and our spirits with love, with compassion, with empathy. We are translating anger and aggression to calm, to grounded, to authentic vision and direction. But what happens a lot is we all come into communities like this and then we go back into our daily lives and we don't activate. We gotta activate what we've been given tonight. Tonight is for us to wake up and have the energy to be on the front lines. Because we're needed. If we don't do it, no one else will. And it's proven time and time and time again. So this caravan started as a means to show up to the DNC in Philadelphia and say, yo, you didn't count my vote. By the way, I just want to throw this out there. Does anyone vote with a provisional ballot or heard of a provisional ballot? I think Colorado was pretty good with it, but most states, they were handed provisional ballots. Provisional ballots are not new. They've been around for decades. But what's new about this election is that white people are given provisional ballots. Not just Native Americans, not just black people, and not just Latino people. So all of a sudden, you have this uproar of people going, my vote wasn't counted. And all these other groups and communities are like, yo, our votes haven't been counted for decades. Where were you then? And that's not something to feel bad about or guilty about for not knowing, but now you know. And once you know, you can't unknow. Now we know that suppression and oppression, it's faltering, right? The system is breaking. And they don't want to admit it, but we all see it. That's why we're here tonight. But we have to show up with our hands behind our backs and our hearts forward, like we all always say, because that's the only way we're going to get shit done. Because they've been doing this for a long time, and this does not feel good. Thank you for being here. How many of you have ever seen sadness in another person's eyes? Or just with a raise of hands. How many of you have ever seen hurt in another person's eyes? How many of you have ever seen injustices occur before you and you do not know what to say or do to stop it? How many of you want a change? The real question, you don't gotta answer this right now. It's a personal question between you, God, and your heart. Is, are you ready to make a change? Because wanting change and activating change are two very different things. It is so much fucking easier to sit on your couch at home and complain and bitch about the problems in the world. I've been there. But it's a lot more fun, and it's a lot more satisfying, and it's a lot more soul-affirming to be on the front lines with your brothers and sisters going, this is dangerous, I am terrified. But I'm using fear and challenges as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to create differences for future ancestors. That's what we were born to do. That's why we're here. They keep trying to put band-aids on these things, which is why you see racism as prevalent as it is. Tell the community what to do. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say right now? Alright. Our sister up here. So here's the breakdown, right? Like, I got a platform that maybe some of you don't have. You guys have platforms that I don't have. I can speak to my family and friends. You don't know them, but you can speak to your family and friends. I don't know them. Just like this sister right here. She said, we had a conversation before this, and she goes, I went out there as a woman of color and said the things that you're saying. My 8-year-old son might not have a mom. And that's the fucking truth of 2016 and the world that we're living in. So we have to join forces so that she can say to me, please say what I want to say and can't yet. And I can say, as a white person, I'm not speaking for you, I'm not speaking as you, I'm here to support you, and I'll be your megaphone until I don't have to be anymore. Up to us. The reason why we chose that name is kind of obvious, because it's up to us to do something, and again, if we don't, no one will. So, the caravan started as a means to go to the DNC, protest against politics, and be like, yo, we're gonna get some progressives in office, and all of a sudden we won't have someone like Bernie Sanders who comes up and stirs the pot and everyone freaks out about it. We're gonna have everyone in office is gonna be a Bernie Sanders, and it's gonna be great. But in order to make that happen, we gotta show up. Not to show up now, but continuously show up, and teach our kids to show up. Because it took centuries to get to where we're at, and it's gonna take decades to get out of this mess. But we're worth it. I'm worth it, you're worth it. Okay? We're equipped for this. After the shootings that occurred in the last few weeks, after Orlando, after the attack in Nice, we decided that Up to Us was not just about politics anymore, which it never really was to begin with. But it's our modern peace train. It is our means to unite people across this country who may be a Republican, who may be a Democrat, who may be a conservative or a liberal, who may be a hippie or a lawyer, who may be a mom or a grandma, or a son or a daughter. And to unite everyone together and know that if you guys need help as a community in Boulder 2 months from now, because you're like, yo, the Army Corps of Engineers, they're not listening to us, and they are building this pipeline, or they are digging this well, and I need brothers and sisters to show up. You now have a community online for us to all show up and support you. Social media is brilliant. I don't understand it, and I'm learning how to work it, but it's brilliant because we can all be in touch now. It's also brilliant because you can Facebook live stream this, live stream face this, straight, whatever, face live this, and you can Snapchat and do all those fancy fun things. But doing that's really easy. Being on the front lines, again, it's not easy. But that's what it's gonna take. So I'm giving you a challenge and I'm planting a seed right now, which is, please, please take the medicine that we have been given tonight. Because Nako and Trevor and Tubby-Lev and the Flowbots and all of these people came here, the Earth Guardians. I mean, come on, Earth Guardians? What? What? Damn, I wish I was that smart at that age. And activated. But we all came here, we all paid our tickets to come here because we wanted to have this conversation. We wanted to look you guys in the eye and say, please help us, because we want to help you. And it's only going to work if we do it together. So Up to Us, we need donations, guys. We want this movement to be offered to everyone, not just those with money. So often movements happen because people are suppressed. But what's so fucked up about movements a lot of times is the suppressed people can't participate in a movement because they're too busy working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. Because that's how the system wants suppression to work. They don't want to hear our voices. So often our voices aren't heard, which again is why we have to stay close, we have to stay united, so that people who are working 3 or 4 and 5 jobs can be heard, even if they can't be present. If you have 25 cents to give, if you have $1 to give, if you've got 20 bucks to give, please go to our GoFundMe. It's gofundme.com/uptous and donate, because all of your money is enabling people who said, I work 2 jobs, I got 5 kids, I got a husband, but I'm going to do this caravan because I believe in my country and I believe in our people, and I can't afford to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways, even if it means sleeping in my car, even if it means not eating for 2 weeks, because that's what it's going to take to make a difference. So your donations, if you can't participate in this caravan, your donations are enabling someone else to participate so your voice can be heard through them. That's why we're asking for donations. Also,